I could scream this till I'm blue in the face to all of my Republican relatives and all my former Republican friends, but I'll just let this former Republican tell you why she recently switched sides, because she did her own research. Maybe you should too.
So 12 years ago, I was a lifelong born and bred Republican. I didn't believe fact checkers. I thought they were all biased and stuff. Well, one day, somebody on my Facebook page made a post, and I don't even remember what it was, but I was sure they were wrong because it went against everything I was told as a Republican. Excuse me. And so I was going to prove them wrong, but I wanted to know exactly what I was talking about, so I did the research, and I found out I was wrong. So I started thinking maybe I'm wrong about other things. I don't know. So I started researching other political topics, and I found out sometimes, or a lot of times, there's articles that support both sides. So which one's telling the truth, right? So I didn't believe fact-checking, non-biased fact checkers. I didn't believe they were non-biased. I thought they were all lying. So I took a fact-checking tutorial myself, and I started fact-checking a lot of things. And you know what I found out? I found out that while both sides may lie some, Republicans lie a whole lot more and a whole lot bigger, like way bigger, crazy stuff. So that's what I found out. Now, Democrats sometimes may not always be truthful, but most of the time it's just like an exaggeration, or they could even be off on numbers. Seriously, they don't lie as much, and they don't lie as big at all. And I also found out that, one of the biggest things for me was finding out that there was welfare for the rich. I was raised to believe, we shouldn't be funding these poor people, I found out we're giving billionaires money. That's crazy. We're giving billionaires money in handouts in the form of subsidies and tax breaks. And sometimes like Warren Buffett's that come out and said that one time he paid less in taxes than his secretary. That's crazy, y'all. And yeah, that was one of the big things to me that took me from being a Republican to a Democrat. Not saying they don't cater some to billionaires, but nothing like freaking Republicans do. Nothing like Republicans do. And then abortion was hard for me, though, because, I was all pro-life and everything. But I did two things, and it really changed my mindset on abortion. So one of the things I did is I looked up what happens in countries that outlaw abortion. Well, guess what? It's not pretty at all. You're talking about overrun state orphanages, and you're talking about a lot of misery. And it doesn't even stop abortion. It just stops safe abortion. And then the other thing I did is I looked up, reasons that people get abortions. And I read a lot of their stories. And there was a lot of stories that I don't know what I would do if I was in their place. Luckily, I've never been in their situations. And then that's when I decided it was none of my business what somebody else does with their body. So those were the two biggest things for me. There's a lot bigger now. Like, I understand now, like I was taught from a young age, you just got to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Yeah, well, bootstraps can't take that kind of weight sometimes and they break. It's not always that easy. There's people out here that are busting their butt in 2 jobs and they can't even get enough to live on. And then, God forbid, that they are making it and something happened, they get a cancer diagnosis, they break a leg. I mean, just anything that puts them off of work for any amount of time, and the next thing you know, they're homeless. Not everybody has family or friends they can fall back on. So it's really opened my eyes And I highly suggest that everybody, because there is so much misinformation out there, that everybody take a fact-checking tutorial. I won't tell you which one to take. You can Google fact-checking tutorial and just pick one and start fact-checking. And I swear to you, it doesn't really take that long, and it gets easier the more you do it. If you don't, then you're just picking which things you like the best. You're just picking news by your bias. You're just picking what you want to believe, because there is so much misinformation out there. Take a fact-checking tutorial, and if that don't make you a Democrat, I'll be surprised. I really be surprised. So many, and that might be enough to scare people, but so many Republicans are voting against their own best interest, and that's sad. That is really sad. But if you're making less than, what is it, $400,000 a year, I believe, and you're voting Republican, you're most definitely voting against your own best interest. But don't take my word for it. Take a fact-checking tutorial and start fact-checking things. You'll see. Have a great day.